he didn't get trounced. He trounced, right?
He trounced so bad that I couldn't even show this to my wife. I talked about it. I can't let you see this because he knocked her out down. And then he just, as she's already unconscious, he starts beating her up. He broke 5 ribs. She can't hear in one ear. She has some neurological issues. She had to take leave of absence. Hey there. Welcome back. Pod and Deliver here. You know what, Ruben? We're going to go ahead and talk about an article that I read and I brought it to your attention from the Daily Wire, dated November 16, 2023. But this is actually a story that started last February. This is a story about a teacher who was basically, and you watch this on the internet, and it really shocked me. A teacher who was trounced, beat up by a 270-pound 17-year-old. And this happened in February of 2023, just a few months ago. And as I watched it, Ruben, this trouncing of this man, really he's a man. His body is the man. And he beating up on this.
He didn't trounce. He didn't get trounced. He trounced, right?
He trounced so bad that I couldn't even show this to my wife. I talked about it. I can't let you see this because he knocked her down, and then he just, as she's already unconscious, he starts beating her up. He broke 5 ribs. She can't hear in one ear. She has some neurological issues. She had to take leave of absence. She went back in August, and the school actually gave her leave. They said, you know what, go back home. And they're not really supporting her on her desire to prosecute this boy, or this young man by the name of Brendan Depa, 17-year-old. I think he might be 18 now, because the school doesn't want her to do the full extent of the law, which is 30 years, right, in prison. He does have autism. Although he has had 3 assaults in the past, he had a fight in prison. This is a person who needs to be at least be put away for a while from the general public, because he is going to hurt others. And what blew me away, Ruben, is that the district is not supporting her. She had to raise like $120,000 so far on GoFundMe to help her pay her bills and so forth. And I just think that what really upset me was that she doesn't feel supported. She doesn't feel cared for by her people, her district. They rather her drop the lawsuit basically on him, or the charges that, or at least not so severe, 30 years. They wanted to drop down. So Ruben, I was just so angry when I read this, and I shared it with you. And so I'm still feeling it.
So what should be done? You're just saying
support. My point is, I think he should be put in a home, or away from the public, right?
So no prison.
I think I will not be upset if he went away for a few years, 5 to 10 years. I know. I think I could. I think children who have, and I have a son who has autism, as you know. My son knows right from wrong. I think this young man probably knows right from wrong. I haven't heard him talk yet, so I think I want to do that. But right off the cuff, I would say, yeah, at least 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I mean, I agree. I don't know the laws in terms of assault. I'm agreeing with you. There should be definitely legal consequences to assaulting your teacher, and I guess the other thing so we're in agreement on that. The other thought I had is, I guess I wish, I'm probably asking too much when I wish this. I wish we could know a little bit more about this student and about some of the things going on in class. What were some of the steps taken? I'm sure she's not going to reveal much. There's a lawsuit coming. Not that she doesn't deserve, legal results or due process for what she received. I'm not saying that. So I'm just saying, obviously she's going to sue.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to probably bring out discovery that could eventually come out of how she handled her day-to-day business with this student and other students. The only reason why I'm asking that is because I am sure there are prospective teachers who have read this news, report, and are wondering, do I want to get myself involved with this? Do I want to work with special needs? And we can kind of give certain protocols, certain steps to support. So I will just say this. Just because a student is autistic, and I'm not sure if we talked too much about this. I think we've touched on this in the past. Right. Just because a student is autistic doesn't mean their behaviors are fixed. Oh, that student's autistic. They can swing at me. It's unpredictable. there's actually some things you can do. There are some supports that can be put in place, and there's various degrees of autism as well. Um, and so, and by the way, you can be direct with a student with autism. You can be very direct and say, do not do this. There will be consequences. You can be stern. That doesn't mean you're being mean by saying, don't do that. If you do that, I'm going to have to do this. And then you also, behind the scenes, you create protocols and you create steps where we call it fading. Now, I just wanted to bring that out. I won't go more into details with it, but I think there's this misconception that, oh, and a lot of general ed is afraid of special ed. I've had a teacher tell me this. Oh no, I'm afraid of special ed, and we want to demystify that, and that's why we should do that more often and talk about these things and not be afraid to give consequences and to be direct. And I have done that, and I'll just leave it at that.
No, I like that, Ruben, because as a teacher for myself, I think one of the best things in the past has been that I've had to cover special ed classes. That's been great for me. So because I got to see the kids that I normally don't have. And if I see them now in the schoolyard, I get to say hi and so forth. And B, it reminds me that, wait a minute, this is a child. These are children, students, right? Who have different needs, but not to be afraid of them. Now, I think it helps that I have a son, obviously, who has autism, but I think it's good for all teachers to have that experience so they won't be afraid, like you shared. And this doesn't have to happen in a room. And I think what happened was that this was another teacher took away a game from him, like a play, Game Boy or something like that. And he got upset and he just took it out on a different teacher. But that being said, and I don't know all his background, like you said, I think it'd be helpful if the article gave us more about his background and even maybe with that teacher he hit, because obviously there is something going on there. But with that, Ruben, I want to encourage people to read the article, and the video is very disturbing. So just to let you know, be careful with that because it looks like he killed her. I mean, I thought he killed her. I thought she's down and he's beating up on her. And I was surprised that nobody went and took him off. I'm sure eventually that did happen, but we didn't see it. But that I just want to thank you for being with us on Pod and Deliver, and we will see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right.